not my problem. I do not want you to go, but I don't know how to stop you. Whatever, I guess, whatever. I don't care, get dressed, whatever. I don't feel like talking, whatever. 'Cause it's really out of my control. How you feel is not my problem. Don't want you to go, but I do not want to stop you, 'cause you gon' do what you gotta do, and what I do is not your problem. Just let me love you. Stop trying to make it complicated. Really out of my control. What I do is not your problem. I really want to go, but please, please don't stop me. solar ring. It's want you to go, but I don't know how to stop you. Whatever, I guess, whatever. I don't care, get dressed, whatever. I don't feel like talking, whatever. 'Cause it's really out of my control. How you feel is not my problem. Don't want you to go, but I do not want to stop you, 'cause you gon' do what you gotta do, and what I do is not your problem. Just let me love you. Stop trying to make it complicated. Really out of my control. What I do is not your problem. I really want to go, but please, please don't stop me.
And welcome to the second installment of
Recording in progress.
We are streaming live on Pro Cannabis Media, and we are tuning in live from the Big Apple, New York City at the Stone Age.
And we are here tonight to
showcase some amazing BIPOC women in the cannabis, beauty, and wellness field. And Puff and Polish is here to really intersect those industries and give women in those industries a voice and a safe place to talk about their business.
I can't even imagine after COVID or during COVID, we ended up linking up, had this concept from my experience in cannabis and wellness and your experience in fashion and clean beauty, just felt like a natural link to create a space for this sort of conversation and interaction and engagement to happen. So thank you very much for everyone who's been joining here and for those who are tuning in and or watching on the live stream. So very, very excited. Let's give them a little prelude of what we're going to be getting.
We're doing this. Yeah. So tonight is going to be really fun, you guys. We have some amazing women, female founders here that we want you to meet. We are talking about nails. We're talking about CBD wellness. What else do we have going on?
And then we also have a fireside chat talking about herbs and herbalism and hemp and herbalism with Amy Chin and Miss LaToya Wiggins. And then we also have a fireside chat with the founders of The Stone Age, the state's first cannabis immersive experience here in New York City. So we'll have some conversations about being women in weed entrepreneurs.
And if you are in New York, you must come by and visit this before it's too late. You have to see the space. So.
I agree. And then for folks who are zooming in, the Q&A is open and live. So feel free to pop down any sort of questions or comments. We'll make sure to have you feel very much a part of it. So shall we go on with the show on this Giving Tuesday of November 30th?
Let's get it started.
Excellent. After you, Jill, I'm going to keep. So I'll be back, guys. Enjoy.
All right. So, hey, everyone. I'm here now. I want to introduce you to a really amazing woman in the beauty field. Her name is Jacqueline Carrington. Jacqueline, what's up? How are you today?
Hey, Jill. Thank you so much for having me again. I'm so glad to be back.
I'm so glad you're here, too.
Thank you.
How are you today? So tell us about your company, People of Color Beauty. How'd you get started and what was the concept behind it?
Yes, definitely. So I launched in May of 2019. I was inspired by my daughter, who was 3 at the time. She had an interest in nail polish, and I didn't have anything at home to keep up with her nails apart from my nail file and some nail clippers. But it made me think back to my childhood, and I didn't wear nail polish growing up. I played basketball, so I didn't really feel the need to put it on. But when I thought about it more, I realized that I didn't see nail polish shown on brown hands. So I could never truly envision the colors on myself. And so with her having an interest in nail polish and me being an entrepreneur, every idea had to be a business. So I said, I'm gonna start a nail polish brand and I'm gonna call it People of Color. And I wanna pick out colors that look good on all brown skin from all over the world, but also a brand that represents and celebrates us. And so the concept behind it is just celebrating us through our nail polish collections and telling stories from people of color from all over the world.
That is amazing. I really am so glad that you did that because you're showing little girls all over the world that they can wear incredible polishes. They can wear any color.
Yes.
I wanted to move along though, because we are here to talk about some cannabis wellness. And I understand you have a really great product. It's a CBD cuticle oil. And can you tell us a little bit about that and why you chose CBD for your cuticle oil?
Definitely. I started learning about the impacts of CBD on skin and nails through creating the brand. We had a regular cuticle oil, which we still have, but I wanted to add a second element to it for those who might need that extra nourishment in their nails. So CBD oil is rich in omega-3s and 6s, as well as vitamin A, C, and E, which is very good for your skin and nails. It has those vitamins and nutrients, especially for those with very dry and brittle nails. It really gives that extra oomph for growing out stronger nails. And so we offer those two options depending on what our customers really need for their nails and growing out stronger, healthier nails.
Great. And so where can, at this point, people can buy your polishes on your website? And as far as the CBD oil, can they find that on your website as well? Or do they have to buy that special somewhere else?
Yes. So unfortunately, when we used to be on Squarespace and we were able to sell our CBD cuticle oil, when we moved over to Shopify, there was some restrictions with selling it on our website. However, Urban Outfitters does carry our polishes and they also include our CBD cuticle oil. So you can still purchase it through Urban Outfitters. And yeah, that would be the main source to grab that special one.
Amazing. All right.
Thank
you
you.
so much. And your new collection for the holidays is called Native. Is that correct?
Yes, it's Native Wellness. It's 5 colors. We researched and chose based on plants that the indigenous people used in the past and use currently for health and wellness. So we have colors like choke cherry, passion flower, white sage, osha root are some of the colors that are included in that collection.
I can't wait to try the white sage. I like that color.
Thank you.
So, thank you. And so now we're going to move right along to start, using those colors and find out what we can do with them. We have Michelle Camus available, and I'm going to switch right over to Anne to take us all about that.
Thanks, Jill. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Jackie. I ordered some of your product and I'm excited to get some natural on. I have some natural gel on, but I'm excited because I got some of your collection and some of your new pieces from your new collection. So I'm excited to be able to be at home, do my own manicures, because believe it or not, I do like to do some of my own self-care. So to continue on with our polish here, we're going to bring in Michelle Camus, as Jill mentioned. She's a New York City-based editorial manicurist. Some of her work has been featured in Essence and a couple of other mainstream publications. I recently got my nails done with her during a CWCB cannabis conference here earlier this month. And she was able to portray some of our cannabis leaves from our home garden, and it came out beautifully. So I'd like to go ahead and invite Michelle up, and she's going to be sharing some great at-home mani tips and some winter trends coming up. So come on up. Let's give her a virtual round of applause here, everyone. Thanks, Michelle. And you're going to go right here. Yeah.
I have people of color polishes here. Thank you for having me, guys.
Yes.
At home manis.
Yeah, like what's a tried and true? Like
Tried and true. Well, you definitely want to take care of the foundation. So what you want to do is keep your cuticles moisturized. Make sure you're pushing back your cuticles like after you're done in the shower, pushing back as far as possible, just so you get all that push back, all that protein. If you feel comfortable to cut it, you can with a proper tool, cuticle nipper. And as far as colors this season, we are definitely going for more jewel tones and deep moss greens, oxblood reds, rich tonal browns.
Wait, did you say oxblood?
Oxblood.
What? I don't even know what that means.
It's like a Bordeaux color.
Yes. Nice.
We have neutrals, grays and whites, and just off balance. And you just want to do some earthy metallics also, which is more like if you go to your local manicurist, you want to go ask for a chrome or any kind of polish that has that multi-flex gold tones in it. And we also have the browns, like I mentioned before. And as far as texture, a lot of people are coming in the salon, they're asking for sweater type nails. What? So we'll make we'll make the nails look kind of like a sweater, like a cable knit sweater. So it's really cool. And what else? You want to add some accents, metal accents to your nails. Like if you're not into the whole trend thing, which is fine too, not everybody follows trends. So you can get the color of your choice, but add a little foil in there just to give it a little bling, maybe a little gold accent. a little gem, which always spices things up too.
Are you talking about a bling like you got on your necklace there?
A bling, yes, that kind of bling. Maybe not so big.
Show them the ring at home. Show what you
Oh
got.
gosh.
That's gorgeous. So you're not talking about that sort of bling.
No, not this big, but
Okay.
you know, just a little, just something to catch the light.
I love it. Now,
Megan-
what do you have on your nails right now? Like what you got going on? You're gonna
My-
paint?
My nails are clear right now because I am a very hardworking woman. And it's my love language to serve. So I serve everybody. And, you know, sometimes I take a back seat for myself, but they'll get done. So right now they're just clear. But a velvet texture is in also right now, which is a cat eye. I don't know if you've heard of that. They also call it velvet. And plaid is also big too, plaid textures. So that's another fun
Y'all
one.
again, the freshest of New York City streets, because we got none of that in Boston.
Yes, plaid textures mixed with like some snowflakes or things like that. Like that's more for the winter, like really deep winter, like January, February. And dried flowers we're getting a lot of requests for dried flowers embedded in the nails. And swirly with a mix of French is also nice.
So we
And
can put some cannabis leaves in those?
you definitely can, and I have done before. So
Woo!
I called it oregano at the time because, you know. But yeah, like that's all the upcoming trends this season, and colors and tones and accents that you can add to your at-home mani, either doing it yourself, like definitely it's more accessible for people to buy these things at your local drugstore, or even asking your manicurist, who should be well informed if they're serving, you know, clients every day. So
And a healthy nail bed is the foundation.
definitely want to take care of your nail beds, because even if you're putting regular nail polish on there or gel on there, you always want to make sure your natural nail beds are the healthiest, so it can hold on the extension. So
Right.
as much as possible without causing damage.
That is really important. Cool. And then also when we're putting oil on the cuticles, we don't want that on there when we're gonna go do the nails. Because you want no oil on your nail
You want
bed.
to have your, you want to keep your nails dehydrated as possible. So if you're doing it at home, you want to take just a little bit of alcohol and rub it on the nail bed, or a little bit of acetone as well. That helps dehydrate the nail, not dehydrate to the point where it's bad for you, but just enough where some oils come off of the nail plate, so you'll have the longest lasting manicure as possible.
Okay. They were asking if we could turn the volume up. Let us know if you guys can hear us okay. That's important because I've been learning about wet manis versus dry manis, which is a technique that you use to prepare the nail bed, and it's not required to submerge the nails in water like traditionally.
It's definitely not. That's more to like soften the cuticles and to like push them back. I feel like it's more like an ambiance thing, because sometimes they put like pearls and stuff on there and you're just like sitting there for like a few minutes. But you definitely could do it. There's products out there that help to soften the cuticle, but also like by consistently pushing them back on your own, like in the shower, that's gonna do it on its own. So definitely always push them back so you have like a nice fresh looking cuticles.
And then tell us what you're gonna do next on your nails.
Oh gosh, I think I'm gonna do a tortoise shell. That's coming. That's a revival back. We're doing it a lot this summer. This summer we were doing it a lot, but it is like it's very like warm and cozy with the brown tones and the black in there. So I think I'm gonna do some tortoise shell. I'm gonna mix some texture, probably some matte and glossy. Probably, I don't know if maybe I'll do 1 or 2 sweater nails. But we'll see. Yes.
I need to come back. So let us know that are watching on the replay, that are coming into New York City, like me who drives from Boston, and be like, where's Michelle at for my nails? Let people know here and online how they can get in touch with you and support your work.
You can definitely get in touch with me at artnailnyc.com. That's where I take all my bookings. We're in the West Village.
She books up in advance, people.
I do about a month and a half in advance. So if you want to come in, come see me, make sure you schedule the day. And I definitely, you can find me at lipstickammo.com or at lipstickammobeauty on Instagram. You can see my work there. And thank you so much for having me and speaking. I appreciate everybody.
Thank you. Check her out, everyone listening and everyone here on the gram and some of your work. You can find out more of Michelle's work at Puff and Polish at jointbco/Puff and Polish. So go support our talented local women here. I'm so excited that we were able to link up and Jill bringing us together, who's a great connector and very much like Cannabis, that feels like it just continues to connect us.
The gift that keeps on giving.
For real. Well, thank you everyone for listening to Michelle and supporting her work and getting all the tips. And I'm going to build up to getting a bling, maybe on a pinky.
One at a time.
One at a time. I was like,
you gotta ease into it.
Hold on a second. I was like, can you do art on like 2 nails? I couldn't do the whole set of the nails. So thank you so much, Michelle. It means everything. And for using Jackie's polish here and supporting our polish partner, like, thank you very much. And Jacqueline, you're awesome for doing what we got to do to
These
get some.
polishes are really great. Like the color payoff, the way they go on is really smooth. I really love. They're not sheer at all. Like sometimes some regular polishes don't have that color richness, but even with the first layer, they're really amazing and very high quality. So I really love these.
Ooh, and it's non-toxic.
Yes, definitely.
Jacqueline's like, yes.
Thank you.
Awesome. Well, we are going to take a quick intermission. You're going to watch a video now from Chef Nikki, who offers cannabis-infused cooking classes, dinners, and what's known as hot boxes, based out of Massachusetts, goes everywhere along the East Coast. So he was able to provide us with our coquito and energy balls in everyone's gift bag who's attended here today. So we're going to go ahead and tune into that. Get up, stretch your legs. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with our fireside chat with Miss Amy Chin and LaToya Wiggins. So hold on.
What's up, everyone? This is Chef Nick E with the Herbal Creative Kitchen, aka Kitchen, KITHCEN. I hope everybody had a great holiday weekend, and I just want to thank everyone for letting me be a part of this event. I just wanted to share a little bit of my culture today. Coquito is a big part of the Dominican holiday in my family and always has been, and I wanted to share a little recipe and a little product with you guys today. I do have a infused canaquito here. It's your traditional coconut eggnog, but we are making a completely vegan version for everyone to enjoy. And we also have this little energy bite ball that, just in case we're hungry during the event, we can enjoy a little extra dosage as well. Well, thanks again, everyone, and I hope everyone has a great night and happy holidays. Thank you. Peace.
I just landed How you feel is not my problem. I do not want you to go, but I don't know how to stop you. Whatever, I guess, whatever. I don't care, get dressed, whatever. I don't feel like talking, whatever. 'Cause it's really out of my control. How you feel is not my problem. Don't want you to go, but I do not want to stop you, 'cause you gon' do what you gotta do, and what I do is not your problem. Just let me love you. Stop trying to make it complicated. Really out of my control. What I do is not your problem.
Hi, everyone. We are back. Thanks for tuning in. We're going to be talking to two amazing women in the CBD and wellness community. We're talking to LaToya Wiggins, who is the founder of Soul Grow. She's also a decorated veteran. We're also speaking to Amy Chin, who's the founder of Calm Better Days, which is a CBD wellness and product site. Hi, Amy. Hi, LaToya. How are you guys tonight?
Good evening. I'm well.
Great.
Hello, good to see you all.
So glad to see you guys. And so I feel like we have so much to talk about in a very short amount of time. So I'm just gonna jump right in. So tell me, Amy or LaToya, either one of you could take this question. How did you guys wind up, or how did you get to your journey on CBD? And
do you want to take this question first, Amy?
Sure. Okay. So I came upon cannabis or CBD probably about 8 years ago. I've always been a cannabis THC consumer, but didn't realize the CBD side until I was diagnosed with anxiety and postpartum depression. That's when I got my medical card at the suggestion of my marriage therapist. And from that point on, it just changed my life. And I mean, I went from being that irritable, cranky person to finally being grounded and mindful. And when I felt those changes in myself and seeing how I was with my children, that was a big sign that I had to do something in this with cannabis.
So that was the game changer for you.
Yes, it was.
Great. And what about you, LaToya? How did you find your way to plant medicine and herbalism? What was it for you?
Well, honestly, I've always been someone who's loved herbs and plants. Like, I've been that way ever since a child. But with cannabis, more so, I really found it like in my 20s, I would say really more so on a medicinal, on a real healing level in my late 20s. As you mentioned, I am a veteran. So after I came home from Iraq, I started experiencing symptoms of post-traumatic stress disorder. However, I didn't know that that's what I was experiencing. I just knew that I was having difficulty with sleeping and I was having lots of anxiety and I couldn't do things that I was supposed to be able to do, like go grocery shopping or, I don't know, take my kids to school and pick them up. So much like Amy, I felt a need for something to assist me in just my everyday life, my
Just being able
It just
to
wasn't, yeah, it just
function.
wasn't,
Yeah.
yeah, it just wasn't, I didn't have healthy habits. And I started to really have to look at other ways. And after being misdiagnosed and misprescribed by the VA with medication that essentially could have killed me because of my mental health, they were prescribing me SSRIs, which were counter-effective to my mania. They kept saying, you have anxiety, you're suffering from anxiety, but it was actually mania. And my challenge has been very difficult with cannabis because I haven't been living in a space that is comfortable with cannabis. You know, being in the military 13 years, I've been in longer than I've been out. So it's made it very difficult in a sense to use it the way that I would love. I can now use it. You know, being in a legal state and having different options is kind of what pushed me on my journey into making the CBD products that I make, because I wanted to give people an option that wasn't available to me.
Got it. Okay. And you said you're in a legal state. So can you share with everyone what state you're out of?
I'm in Massachusetts.
Okay, great. And then Amy, I know you told us about your journey. And could you share with us a little bit about Calm Better Days, what people can find there, what they can expect for the newbie, and maybe even some dosage information, because people that have never tried a cannabis product, you know, may be very concerned about using it as a mom or as a working woman. You know, what are the dosages that they can use that'll be functional for them? You know?
So Calm Better Days is an online platform. They're the e-commerce shop where we support a lot of small farms, women-owned, BIPOC-owned brands. And I understand, you know, starting CBD or cannabis is very overwhelming to someone new to plant medicine. And so I break it down to the basics, you know, learning what is CBD, what are the different cannabinoids and how it works in our endocannabinoid system. I walk them through the different delivery methods and, of course, how to find your dosage, because that's a huge issue that we grapple with. And I think that comes from being in condition from society that a doctor tells us how much we should take of a certain medication. And with cannabis, the idea is to really look internally. Our body gives us signs and we just have to learn to read it. We just haven't been reading it for so long that it seems unnatural. So I always advise when starting your dosage, right, do a self-check-in, because you want to track where you are currently so you can know where the progress is coming from. So I always say, start with a list of your symptoms, check in with your mind and your body, write everything down, be as specific as possible, rate your symptoms. For example, my list might look like I have pain at a level 8. My anxiety, my stress level is at an 8. And with that comes that heavy chest or that knot behind my neck. And once you're done with your list, then take your CBD and always start low and go slow if it's new, something new to you, because you want to make sure there's no adverse reactions. And it's good to start low and go slow so you don't overshoot your dosage as well. And what you want to do.
I'm sorry, I just want to interrupt you for a second.
Yeah.
And when you're talking about dosage, is there a particular modality that you're speaking about? Just so people are a little clearer on that.
I usually tend to recommend tinctures or vaporizer as a first way modality. Tinctures are easy to dose out exactly what you need. And I find that some people with a vaporizer, if they're okay to inhalation, that quick onset helps them feel that relief so they know what to expect. Yeah, so I always start with those two. And then after you're done with your list, take your CBD and go back to your list in an hour. Set a timer because we tend to forget. And after that hour, look at your list and see if there's any, difference in those ratings. Did that 10, that stress, did it go to an 8? Which is okay because we're trying something new. We haven't found out dosage. And we continually do this slowly, increase our dosage until we see our symptoms go from a 10 to a 1. Then we kind of know, okay, we found our ideal dosage. And even though, you know, everyone's dosage is very unique because it depends on your genetic makeup, what you're trying to treat, also your lifestyle habits in terms of, are you getting enough sleep? Are you eating right? Are you exercising? Is there some movement, right? All those are, you know, we're understanding wellness as an integration of things. So tracking it every day, you're going to get different results because it takes about 3 weeks to build in your body from day 1 versus day 7. You're going to have different results. So it's always good to track it, and you'll find that you may also have different reactions with different modalities, such as a tincture versus a vaporizer versus an edible. Some may respond better to an edible versus a vaporizer, or if somebody doesn't like to vape, they can use a tincture. So it's always good to track, because also no two CBD products or even two cannabis products are the same.
Right.
So.
And some people use a combination as well. So I guess it really depends on what is for you that day or what you're needing.
Yes, and it definitely is. And the great thing about Calm Better Days is you can do an online virtual consultation for free. We take a look at your current health conditions and recommend the best products for your specific situation.
That is amazing. Thank you so much for all that information. And I'm going to move along to LaToya. LaToya, I'd love for you to share more about Soulful Grows, because I know that you have a variety of herbal plant wellness information that you could share with us. And particularly, I know we spoke on the back end about female and women's health. And anything you'd like to share about particular things that women are dealing with.
So I did you guys a favor, and I actually wrote some talking notes down so I don't just go off on a couple of tangents.
Fantastic.
Because of our conversation, I know that there are some specific things that you're looking at. I just wanted to echo what Amy said about dosing. I know often people are scared to try something that's new, but it's okay to try it in smaller quantities. So even if we're talking about something like an allergy, right? Like especially, let's say in children, like a sensitive allergy, right? My son was allergic to eggs. The doctor says, the allergen says, slowly introduce him to eggs in small quantities so that we can combat the allergy. You see what I mean? So in most things in life, when you're scared, it's okay to take it in smaller doses. So I definitely want to echo that, especially for anyone who might be listening to this or come up on this and, you know, have been wondering or thinking about trying cannabis and cannabis items, because the truth is the same is true of THC. So I just want to say that, because I feel like there are a lot of people who may not be trying certain products because they're afraid, and they're afraid because of a stigma. And that's part of the reason it's important to create these spaces to talk about that. So, and just in general for women's health, I feel like it's important.
Oh, wait,
so first
but
of all,
wait. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
tell us about Soulful Grows first before we
I
go
was
into
going to
that.
say it would probably help if I told you about,
know about your company.
Right. So my business is Soulful Grows. It's my sister and I. We're co-owners, and we do everything, literally everything. So I actually started Soulful Grows because, as I previously mentioned, I suffer from mania. So literally this time last year, I was in my worst manic fit to date. It was over 40 days. And in the sense of talking about natural healing, I'm extremely afraid personally for trying, you know, SSRIs or mood stabilizers because of my past experiences. So I'm actually a grower. So I grow my own cannabis, I grow my own medicine. And I was fortunate to get on the path of that through a veterans group that is also trying to break down stigma, and that they're working with people like myself to show us that it is okay to, you know, to use the plant and that it has uses. So Patriots Helping Vets helped me get into a comfortable space to start growing. So in my mania, I'm always looking for healthy outlets. So my mom, who also grows, said to me one day when I was
all in
talking
the family.
to her.
Okay.
Yeah, I was talking to my mom one day, like, because I was on my first grow this time last year. I'm like, man, there's so many of these families. I wish I could do something with them. Like, I hate the thought of just throwing them away. You know, it was like really making me crazy, you know? So I was like, well, my mom says, well, I just throw them in the pot with my chamomile tea. I was like, oh, Lord, this lady is onto something. So I started doing a lot of research. I'm very nerdy, you know, so I started researching properties. I already have been a massive tea lover. Before I know it, I'm mixing tea with my hemp leaves. But then the problem was that my business grew so quickly. So like my memory on Snapchat today was me telling people that I just made hemp teas. That I just grabbed my first hemp, like my first pound of hemp to start making CBD teas. So that's how like quickly my business grew. So after doing lots of research and testing, because all of my products are tested, state tested, lab tested. So I'm able to tell people what cannabinoids are in them. I can also tell them down to how much. And I can also let them know that if you are afraid of THC and you do want to try CBD and you're looking for a modality that isn't maybe smoking, maybe you're not interested in that, maybe, you know, for whatever reason, you just don't want to try a tincture or you don't have access to it. My teas can also be very discreet. So the entire time we've been sitting here talking, I've been drinking teas.
Okay.
So my teas, which are my top selling product, I make them, the bags are concentrated because again, I'm a tea lover. So I sell the bags individually and one tea bag contains 100 milligrams of CBD. Wow. And then up to that, there's nothing else in it. But
in their gift bags. Everyone's getting a tea in their gift bags.
Everyone's getting tea. So it's just important for everyone to remember my tea bags. Again, you'll see they are larger. I am a tea lover. I throw it into a kettle. See, I've been pouring the kettle because one tea bag will fill that kettle. Okay, so if you don't want so much, you can steep the bag for a little bit in a cup and put it away. The instructions are on it. But my thing is I wanted to give people access to a product that they could use and also enjoy. But it's also important for me, the reason why I started looking at CBD was because I was already mixing herbs. I was already mixing flowers. I was already mixing them to get desired effects. Right. So how could I not? Especially when I'm growing cannabis, I'm using cannabis, I'm already using CBD and THC and a number of different modalities. So how could I not, as someone who is making a product, not allow this to someone, especially when it's something that I believe in? So that's how I ended up on my pathway to Soulful Grows. Got
it. Wow, that's incredible. So you're on the sip, pass movement. I like that. That's good. For all those tea drinkers out here.
Yeah. So I know we talked about, you know, women's health in particular and different herbs and things like that we could, counteract that. So
I wanted to ask you particularly, because I know that there are a lot of women that are, you know, dealing with like cramps and PMS issues and all kinds of stuff. And as an herbalist, you know, someone who is an expert in plant medicine, can you share a few things that you learned along your journey with plant medicine?
So for me, I've suffered from a lot of female issues. I'm a cervical cancer survivor. I have dealt with fibroid tumors, cysts in my ovaries, cysts in my uterus. I have had some of the craziest issues. And as I got older in life and I started to change different ways, I started noticing my body was healthier. So one of the things is that, a lot of women experience cramps, and like we're supposed to have cramps. It's supposed to be a little painful, but it shouldn't be excruciating. A lot of us are dealing with unreasonable amounts of pain just from our periods. And to me, I think that is ridiculous. And especially to not have access to anything that's really helpful, because we could take Tylenol, we could take Motrin or Midol, but you can only take so much of that. And then it hurts your stomach more because now you're like, oh, I took all this, I didn't eat, Exactly. You guys know how that pattern goes. So for me, I started at a very early age looking for healthy and natural avenues. The one thing I can say is that some of the very basic things that we can do to strengthen and to have better, healthier bodies is we have to start by looking at the products that we're using, starting with our feminine hygiene products, because we're using products and we're using them out of a necessity because we need to use them, but we're not putting too much thought into what we're using. So we're putting chemicals into our body and toxins into our body. We have to teach our daughters about toxic shock syndrome to give them a tampon to go swimming or to go to the beach. And that's unfortunate when we have things that are out there, products like hemp tampons, So that's also something that I may make in the future because I've had lots of requests for it. People know that I'm into that natural aspect. So I would suggest to people to, one, stop using tampons. If you're going to use them, look into more organic and natural options because they are out there and they are available. I'm also even going to say down to thinking about what we do on the regular. We can't wait until we're having our period or having issues with fibroid tumors and cysts to try to treat ourselves because we're already too late. We have to be proactive and not reactive, right? So first of all, fibroids, like I know you and I had an in-depth conversation about fibroids. A lot of people might not really know what fibroids are. Fibroids are a non-cancerous tumor. They're actually the most common gynecological non-cancerous tumor that like 1 in 3 women experience. I myself have experienced them, and I can tell you they're extremely painful, extremely painful. It's essentially like growing a bowling ball in your womb because you're having a period. So it's like I'm already being punished for having a period, and now I got to be punished on top of that. And there was times when I would be curled over in the fetal position and I couldn't get up. But it's like something has to give. So one of the things that I found that is extremely helpful in women's health and dealing with the pain, whether that's the pain of fibroids, the pain of cramps or PMS, is sea moss. Sea moss, a lot of it's starting to gain popularity.
Yeah,
and
I'm hearing a lot about that lately.
Yeah, a lot of people are just now starting to hear rumblings of it.
Yeah.
But it's important that people take the time to listen to those whispers because it's not junk. It's not just some other health fad that's flying in. Sea moss is real and it is documented, and it's something that has been used for generations and generations. The problem is that in our own society, in Western society, we cut ourselves off from the healing powers of things like tea, which is why it's important for me to bring that back, or the healing powers of things like sea moss. So sea moss is especially helpful in women for a number of reasons. First of all, sea moss, it grows in the ocean, so it's very natural. It pulls all of its minerals, all of its nutrients right from the earth, right from the water, right from what keeps our planet going. And then it provides us with 92 of the 102 minerals that our body actually needs. So 1 dose of sea moss, you're already, like 1 daily dose, you're already getting a full supply of the minerals and stuff that your body would need, that we would essentially be trying to eat and get with food. And that we're probably not going to get with food because we're probably eating a lot of the wrong things, Wow. So cutting back on things like sugars and stuff like that also help with fibroids and help with cramps. We got to stop with the caffeine, alcohol. Drinking alcohol is detrimental to our feminine system. It does not like it. And it doesn't matter, we've lived in a society that makes excuses around drinking. You know what I mean? Instead of drinking around excuses.
Yes.
That's become.
We have whole days of celebrating with drinking. Yes.
Exactly. And it's become and we don't give any thought to the long-term effects that it has on our body, especially us as women, because it's one thing when we're young and we want to party and we want to have fun and, and then when we get older and we start thinking that we want to have children. So for me, when the doctors told me I had cervical cancer, I had 3 doctors tell me I needed to have a hysterectomy. And I was devastated.
This is before you ever had children.
Before I had children.
And everyone, she has 4 children. I
have 4 children now.
So I was success.
I was actually devastated because I just couldn't even believe it, because one thing that I always knew was that I was going to be a mother, So I just refused to believe it. I ended up finding a doctor that was willing to work with me. And it went from have a full hysterectomy to one of the first things she said to me is, well, you need to take better care of your whole body. That's what she said to me. I was still active duty at the time. Your whole body. She would get on me about smoking cigarettes, which I'm like 8 years. I think it was 8 years this July I quit. So cigarettes. And, she's on me like, about smoking cigarettes. She was on me about something as crazy as it sounds, bowel movements. We don't pay enough attention to our digestive system and how that affects our female parts, because it's all connected.
Yeah.
So when our
a lot of people don't know that.
When our digestive tract is not on track, we can't really be upset at ourselves too for having these horrible periods sometimes, because we really bring it upon ourselves. Sugars, red meats, we need to be eating instead more fruits, more green vegetables. And again, sea moss, because one of the beautiful things about sea moss is it has properties that are great for appetite, that feeling you get, like I want sweets or I want to eat. And it helps to curb that feeling naturally.
Guilty of that.
Yeah, honestly, I am too, because honestly,
I love chocolate. So
yeah, see, for me, it gets sugars. It's unhealthy sweets because I'm a small person and I have lots of energy. So I think, I want sugars because I need to feed that energy. But the problem is, again, you can't feed the energies unnaturally. But something like sea moss, or even with fruits and vegetables, give our bodies the energy that we need so our cells can work the way that they're supposed to work. Our bodies weren't created to run artificially and off of artificial products. Our bodies were created to function on natural products. So then when our bodies start acting up, then we start looking for unnatural ways to fix what really we haven't even tried to fix naturally, But sea moss, it contains lots of vitamin B vitamins. And B vitamins are also extremely healthy and amazing for just women health. I highly recommend that any woman who's struggling with cramps regularly, who's struggling with, any type of fibroid tumors, any type of female problems, I highly recommend vitamin B's, folic acid. If you just want to take a supplement, folic acid would be the quickest route. Take that regularly. But again, folic acid, B vitamins, pack yourself with B vitamins. Sea moss will do it. You could get a supplement, eat foods that are high in it.
LaToya, real quick, folks that are coming into herbalism as a practice, what is like the number one, or like where folks can start on their journey of integrating more herbs into their everyday self-care?
See, the beautiful thing is it really starts with what we eat. We are what we eat. Throw a little bit of basil and parsley and sage on your food. It will flavor it a lot more than what people think. It's easy to do, literally. And honestly, even if we're talking about oils, because there's a lot healthier options for oils. Why are we cooking in, vegetable oils, corn oils? Why are we cooking in Crisco? Because seriously, when we have options like coconut oil, seriously, we could use hemp seed oil. You don't have to cook in what's there. There's a reason why when you go to the market, the sections for the unhealthy stuff are like this wide. But then the healthy stuff is like this. Because they want you to glaze past it, But people who are taking the time to consider these things in their health, they're going to take the time to find those small sections, to find people like myself or Jacqueline, which I just wanted to say, girl, you are dope. And I'm definitely going to get with you about that nail polish.
Yeah, her polish is amazing.
I am so your target market for something like that. With 4 kids, I keep, having babies putting fingers in their mouth, and I'm always thinking about their health and how things that I use transfer over to them, So I would definitely say for herbs, definitely start with food, because especially if you're cooking for other people, it's a great way to sneak health in. My kids don't like to eat vegetables, so they don't know that I mash up vegetables and put it in like they don't know.
And LaToya, also, when we're looking to purchase herbs, what's the number one thing, similar, I guess, to what Amy had mentioned, as far as like knowing where your product is coming from, and
So
making
that's
a
important.
reputable like frontier or like non-GMO
So
wild harvest.
no, so really what I would suggest to people first and foremost, grow your own. If you want to know what's in what you eat, grow it. There's no laws telling us that we can't grow tomatoes in our windowsill, or basil, or sage, or lavender.
Cannabis.
You know, well, in some states they can't grow cannabis, but honestly, if you want to start knowing what's in what you're using, start by growing it. That's what I would say. The second best thing I would say is directly to farms and then farmers markets. If you have to shop in a supermarket, I would really look. It's not even so much to say necessarily, see, packaging is tricky because people think just because it says things like organic or no non-GMO, that it makes it healthy. You know, you have to understand that things like that are terms that if you dig deeper, it doesn't mean that they don't or can't use pesticides. It just means they can't use certain ones or certain levels.
Yeah.
You know, there's level, it gets deeper. So my thought is first start with your local people. And the other thing is, if you want to support local, if you genuinely want to put back into your communities, you go to the farms. I shop at the farmers markets. And that's another reason why testing is so important, because with my teas, if I can find the item, i.e., let's say like ginger, right? Or fresh mint at the farm or at the farmer's market, I will purchase that. Peppers for my pepper tea, my seasonal tea for cold, I'll purchase those from the farmer's market.
You get like
And
actual
hydrate
peppers.
them, and I'll turn them into CBD tea. And I'll get it tested
amazing.
also for pesticides and stuff, so I can show that there's no pesticides and stuff. You know, so it's all that's how you really give back and put back.
Great. Well, I wanted to also, you know, everything you're telling us, this is an amazing lesson. I feel like I learned so much. And is there a book coming at some point, LaToya? Like, I think we all would like to know.
Everyone in my life says it. And honestly, the truth is I already wrote it. I've been writing since, I don't even know, since probably before I could talk. I'll talk with you on that, Joe. You could probably help me with that, you know?
I would love to. I would love to. So, well,
Any comments from Amy?
yeah, Amy, do you have anything you want to add to this conversation? Because you've been a little quiet.
Yeah.
Just checking in on you.
Yes, I was loving everything LaToya was saying and agreeing. And I would just love to add, I would also cut out dairy if possible. But as for women's health issues, I do have a favorite brand called Chula. It's spelled Xula.
Yes, we love Chula here.
Yeah, Chula is awesome. And I love them because they create CBD products blended with herbs to really address women's health issues. So whether it's the mood swings or the pain or menopause symptoms or perimenopause, there's a tincture for each specific scenario. That way you get the cure that you need. And also another tip is that think about suppositories. Some people may not even know it's out there as modalities.
There are CBD and hemp suppositories available.
Yes, there are. And it's great for, when you're in that fetal position kind of pain, which I'm sure people who have fibroids, endometriosis, all that's really helpful, hitting the pain receptors in our pelvic area. And also, you can also use it for intimacy, if, pain during sex. It'll help relax the muscles, ease the pain, help lubrication. So, and relax you mentally as well, so that maybe we can hit the score early.
Mental relaxation will definitely help with that. Yes. Thank you so much, guys.
High property too, and those properties. So I was thinking about trying to come up with it. It's really in its gel form, a nice lubricant. I'll have to figure out how to maximize that.
Yeah, well, you definitely have to keep us posted, both of you, on your latest and what's coming forward. Can you guys, we're going to wrap up here, but I'd love for people to be able to get in touch with you and find your businesses. Can you share some information on that? Like where they can find you, your website, your IG, everything.
Yes, they can find me at www.calmbetterdays.co, that's CO. And on Instagram, it's calm_better_days.
And LaToya?
I can be found on Instagram at soulful_grows, and I can be found on Facebook at Soulful Grows. My website will probably be launched hopefully after we're done here, but you will find that at www.soulfulgrows.com.
Okay, fantastic. And I have tried the tea. It's really good. I'm going to be having a cup tonight, actually. So after this evening to wind down. Oh, yes. We have a request from our producer here. We want to share also, if you guys could tell us a little bit about the products that are in our gift bags tonight that people will be going home with. I know you both have some great products to share with our audience.
Yes, in the gift bag, there are tonic, some tinctures, and then there's also Kasi water-soluble drops. So the drops, they're fast-acting because they're nano-infused. And all that means is because the molecule is smaller and our body is made of 70% water, we absorb it quicker and more of the CBD. So you can drop it into water, drop it into a drink, use it for if you're cooking. And yeah. So those
I was just going to ask that.
Yes, and two women-owned businesses.
Great. And LaToya, tell us about what's in the gift bag from Soulful Grow. Excuse me. Is LaToya still there?
Oh, I was muted. Sorry. So everyone will get one bag. Everyone will get one tea bag. And like I said, the instructions and stuff are all on top of it. I just want to remind everyone that one of these CBD teas contains 100 milligrams of CBD. There's literally nothing in it but whatever the flavor is in it, and then the CBD. So if it's a ginger and mint, I gave you guys a variety of flavors. Maybe you guys get together after and brew a couple pots and share flavors. I don't know. But one tea bag, again, will make 4 cups, a minimum of 4 cups. You could probably get more.
Yeah, we could stretch it out. But, thank you guys so much. And we are really excited to go and try these teas and all the products at Calm Better Days. And we look forward to everything you guys are doing in the future. So thanks, guys, for tuning in to find out more about Amy Chin and LaToya Wiggins. Thanks a lot. And now we're off to our next segment with Ann Brum.
Hey, thanks everyone. Well done, Jill.
All right. Thank you.
Well, we are having our beautiful bookend of a conversation with the founders of the Stone Age here in New York City. Thank you for tuning in. This is going to be our last fireside chat, and then we're going to move right into Mozetta's message. And Mozetta happens to be Jill's cousin, who's the social worker in North Carolina at the foster care program, and recipients of proceeds of the benefit of this event of Puff and Polish and our first event goes directly to those foster care recipients. And we want to shout out Miss Mozetta for doing the hard work and all the people on her team in Guildford County, North Carolina. So stay tuned for that after we bring on our guests here for Fireside Chat numero dos. I am pleased to come and welcome Ms. Sasha Perelman and Liz Santana, or Elizabeth Santana, to talk a bit about their experience here at the Stone Age in New York City, and maybe spill a little fun canna chat of what's to come, because this experience is unbelievable. If you haven't been here, you need to come here. So let's go ahead and give a warm welcome to Ms. Sasha and Liz, and come on down. Thanks, everyone. So I'm going to come join you on the other side. Welcome, welcome. I'm going to cut right in.
Hi, everybody.
Thanks
for coming out tonight.
Yeah.
This is awesome, virtually and live.
We really wanted to highlight today the work that you two have done. This has been a lot from concept to execution. Jill and I know a little thing or two about bringing all the details together. So just congratulations. I know it's a team effort. Boy, do we know that. And all the intricacies and all the pieces and all the attention to detail. And yes, the intention, but also the purpose of having a collective space which cannabis does such a beautiful job of bringing the people together. So thank you both, and taking the risk or risking the biscuit, as we like to say, and taking it on such a massive project and potentially, hopefully, coming up to New England. So let's maybe wink. Let's see if we can make that happen. But thank you both very much for being here, and let's get into the first question. Cool. Does that sound good?
Yeah, that's what we're here for, right?
There is a lot going on at this install, especially when it comes to diversity and inclusion. This plant has touched all walks of life, for migrating from China to India, from South America into the States, and it's got some history to it as well, especially disproportionately impacting communities of color. And the stats are that is legit. And having that install be here right around the corner and legit the experience of someone who's currently living in now, both men and women or non-binary folk that are dealing with for being in jail, incarcerated for like a gram in the state of Tennessee. So I know it's like, what can we do? Yeah. And we'll talk about your partnership with Last Prisoner Project, but can we talk a little bit about the inclusion of DEI and beyond the disproportionately impacting communities of color, but how the plant kind of brings all walks of life together, you know?
Well, you know, in putting this together, some of my work in the criminal justice space and then the work in the cannabis space and really understanding the implications and meeting some of the victims of the war on drugs, it was really important for us to come together and have this advocacy really be a pillar of what we created here at the Stone Age. We would be remiss to not talk about it as producers, as folks in the industry, you know, and knowing people who have been impacted by it. So the ability to not only tell the story and highlight some of the milestones and racial injustices of the war on drugs, but also celebrate the artists and the creatives and the talent, some of which you see here and in the gallery and the work throughout the space in being able to employ them and bring them into the Stone Age as a part of really a historic event, a historic space that we've created, is our ability to not only give back, but to help bring awareness to all of this that's going on. And in our partnership with Last Prisoner Project, integrating some real-time call to action so that people can get involved in real time by signing petitions, by donating to the organization, getting involved with some of the artists and so forth.
I mean, I think it's, and this is just like food for thought, but I came in, Sasha introduced me to the cannabis industry. It was something very new to me, and I'm, you know, so grateful for that. But as a biracial individual, and I had no idea that all of this even was happening. And I'm a very cultured person, well-rounded, didn't have a clue. So I think it's really important to just take that in, let it sink in for a second and think, well, we're all aware in this room that it's happening. How many people have no idea? And creating platforms like this for us to all stand on and get the word out there is what we need. It's really important to admit it, to say, I didn't know anything, but how can I make a difference? And I think that that's what's really amazing is we have people who walk through the Stone Age who don't realize what they're walking into and walk out with a purpose. And that's when we know that we've, you know, done our part or started our part, I guess.
Literally to experience it is a whole different thing to actually be reading about it or watching a video. To really walk through this space and take it all in is on its own level. And I love that each individual has your own interpretation or perception of the content or the visuals or the information that you're receiving. So well done. This has been, I can't wait to see what's coming up more and more. And I just want to ask, so in this new and rapidly growing industry, in addition to paying it forward through advocacy and education and resources for legal fees to get folks who are currently incarcerated for some whack charges.
While people are making billions of dollars off of this plan. Let's really think about this. Like, it's
and private institutions that are incarcerating these folks. So, but for women in weed as entrepreneurs here, women are shaping, by the way, how mainstream is and its relationship with the cannabis plant, right? And this is post-prohibition, and this kind of edutainment experience
Love that.
is very necessary. So like, why now? When it came to TSA, aka the Stone Age, why it was like, now I know it took like, a while to get it all together, but
That's another therapy session. Build this in 4 weeks and then come back.
it was like, where's the genie in the bottle, and just do that.
That's because of our amazing team.
Yeah. What inspired and why NYC?
Well, first off, just to go back to something you said, like, I think we all in here, especially the women, like, who run the world, not to steal from Beyonce, like, B, don't come for me, like, who run the world, like, girls, like, this is our chance, this is our time, so, like, let's all embrace that. That's, like, our biggest thing is, like, we are women and we are strong and we are going to make a difference. Why now? I think, a lot of people, when we first opened, we started talking about the Stone Age long before COVID, and Sasha's been dreaming about this since she could talk. So Sasha was like, oh yeah, no, but I mean, this dream, she really did manifest her dreams. It's pretty, her story's amazing, but it was already a controversial time because of COVID and people not having experience, like being part of experiences, and can we even have people interacting with each other? So for us, it was there is no better time than now. We've been stuck in our houses. We've been told that we can't interact, which is one of the most human,
necessities.
To interact with others. Let's start this platform. Cannabis is built on the foundation of community during a time when people needed it. So that was really like one of the fuels. Do you want to talk about when you were 5 and started dreaming up the Stone?
When I was throwing a joint in my diapers.
Sorry, Mr. Perriman, sorry.
Twisted one up in the crib. But then why NYC? Because like you could have done this at like Weed Maps did with the Museum of Weed in West Hollywood. And then it was like, do we do this bi-coastal? Like, what's up? Is there roots? Are they just more open and receptive to having this here?
Well, as a New Yorker, it was really a gift to bring it to New York. We thought that the flagship should definitely happen in New York because, the ability to bring together a spectrum of an audience ranging from, people in their 18 and over, into their 80s.
Except for Sasha.
From, New York is really the mecca of international community of, it's the melting pot. And I know this is super cliche, but it really is a melting pot of culture. And New York really shapes culture and shapes trends. And so to bring something that is sort of unprecedented to a market like New York, we knew not only people would be receptive toward it, but it could really help shape the future of cannabis in New York, especially, the timing of this. Yes, we started talking about it and planning it. COVID happened, derailed the world. And then, when we started talking about it again and bringing it to New York and starting the planning, serendipitously the same week, they announced recreational legalization in New York. So we're like, okay, the stars are aligned.
Yeah.
Let's make this happen.
Yeah.
And while we're still quite a ways away from recreational actually being something in the city where people can go into dispensaries and buy cannabis, the time to start the conversation, the time to educate people and to really perpetuate conscious consumerism so that when people do have access to the plant on a mass market level, they know the questions to ask, they know the things to look for, they feel empowered to make these decisions versus a lot of the stigma that so many people have around plant medicine, around cannabis, the perception that cannabis is all about smoking weed and getting high. And while that's such a cool facet of it, it's not the only thing. And being able to share the stories of how it impacts individuals, how it impacts communities, and how people are using it to really heal themselves. The whole ode to the opioid epidemic and talking about the fact that this is taking over in this country and people are dying at rapid rates, and we're not talking about it loud enough as a society. And how cool is it that we get to use cannabis as a soapbox to have so many more profound conversations? This isn't just about, come learn everything there is to learn about cannabis. This is come learn about cannabis and learn about these other things that are impacting us as a society. And the more we talk about it, the more we're able to cultivate progress and really make change. And that's what, the Stone Age is about. That's what we're about as the producers of this, and really hoping to empower our communities and inspire them to really experience transformation.
That's what New York is about too, right? Like New York strong. Think about all the things that New York culture and community have done already. So why not New York? New York is the only place to start this conversation. Ask us.
I love it because New York I just feel like it's like be unapologetically yourself.
Yes.
And I feel like cannabis is the same thing. She is like, y'all work for me.
Right there. Yes. And that needs to be screamed from the mountaintop. She is. Yes.
She is like the boss, and she's kind of guiding the way of how people are waking up and unlocking this connection with self-care and self-compassion and fun. There's nothing wrong with having
Don't forget the fun. Yes, that's an important.
Because it can be heavy in cannabis, and there's a lot of heaviness in everyday life. So it's nice to kind of have the plants support us, returning to a little joy, a little peace, and a little R&R. Like, ain't nothing wrong with that. So, so as we're wrapping up, do you what is next for TSA? I'm like always on to the next, but for real, I'm hoping that this has been a great response for you all. Like, what is down? Spill a little tea. Spill a little soulful grow tea, will you?
I think when we started the Stone Age, we had a lot of ideas of what next would look like, and I think we can say now that New York has definitely become a home for us and a home for the Stone Age, and we're really excited to continue our mission, in the Big Apple. Yeah. So there's some big things happening. Definitely stay tuned over the next month or so, and we'll keep you guys posted first, just what's going on. And can we just take a second to thank both of you for creating the space for us? Can we all, yes, I don't know if somebody's done that, but stand on your yes. Thank you.
We had a lot of help.
Thank you.
Thank you for believing in what we're doing.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, everybody in this room is part of the change and part of what's going to be the future. Yeah. So thank you for bringing us all together.
And I will say on an end note, because I think this really epitomizes not just the industry, but women in this industry, is women in cannabis. And we've coined the term Queens of the Stone Age, right? That we really come together as a community to lift each other up. And, we both come from the CPG world where we didn't really have that experience. And so to be so welcomed and so supported, and to be able to reciprocate that to all of the women in this room, to all of the women who, are part of the Stone Age and who get to experience everything that we do as an industry and as industry leaders, it's really remarkable. And we're so grateful for that, because it is really unique and really special. And we hope to continue to cultivate that female community, through the lens of empowerment and everything that we're doing.
Collaboration. I love it.
Yeah.
So let us know in here, and those who are watching on the live stream, how can they learn more about the work that you're doing and the next, stay in tune with all the good that's coming from the Stone Age?
So definitely follow our Instagram, Welcome the Stone Age, right? Yes. I don't even know my kids. I have 2 kids. I don't know their names either. And follow us on the StoneAgeNYC.com.
Excellent. Awesome. And then they can come when folks that are,
so we're open Wednesday through Friday, 4 to 11, and Saturday and Sunday, 11 to 11 or 1 to 11 now.
Nice.
Something like that.
So come on down if you're in NYC.
Yeah, 607 Avenue of the Americas, right at the corner of 6th and 18th.
Awesome. Does anyone have any questions that you'd like to send over to Miss Sasha or Miss Liz? Anybody?
Okay.
I just want to see Sasha's coat, your jacket.
Yes. Can wait. No, you have to first show the front.
I just want to see that.
It says,
zoom in.
Little female drug dealer, marijuana feminism. And Sasha made it look real good.
I mean, look at this windbreaker, right?
This is also a BIPOC brand.
Yeah. Just
Nice.
easy.
This is Jasmine.
Oh, this is Women Grow. Okay. Not Women Grow. Jasmine.
Yeah.
Again, don't know my kids' names.
Well, thank you very much. Anyone else? You guys feel good? Everyone on the stream feel good? Good, good. I don't see any. I think it's just a comment there. So,
Awesome.
well, a round of applause for Miss Sasha and Liz.
Thanks, guys.
We're gonna go ahead and have Jill introduce Mozetta's message here. Yep. So go right on back.
Hi, everyone. So as you all know, we are here as Puff and Polish. The original mission was to really be able to help bring donations to foster care. And so I want to share with you the message from Mozetta Williams-Crouch, who is part of the program in Guildford County called Celebrate the Children. And she'll be able to tell you guys what it's all about and why we're doing this in the first place. Because foster families, there are a limited number of foster families available now, and it's getting worse. And so we are doing our part to just help in some way. So here we go.
Dan, take it away on the live stream.
All right. Hi, everyone. I'm Jill Goldsberry here from the Puff and Polish panel and event. And I'm here today with Mozetta Williams-Crouch, who is with Celebrate the Children and the Health and Humane Services of Guildford County, North Carolina. Hi, Mozetta. How are you today?
Hi, Jill. Just wanted to clarify, it's Guildford County Department of Health and Human Services, Division of Social Services, Child Welfare.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So I'm really excited to talk to you today because you are the reason why we're all here in your organization. And can you tell us a little bit about what is going on with foster care and adoption right now in North Carolina and in general, like what people need to know?
Right. So this is Adoption Celebration Month. We focus on adoption. And so what our agency generally does is we coordinate with the foster parents who have adopted through our agency and the local courts, and have a celebration celebrating the adoptions that have occurred through our agency within the past year. And we have a class right now. We're focusing on folk who are interested in being licensed foster parents because we have an ongoing need for foster parents here in Guildford County, as well as the state and all over the country, quite frankly. We are all needing to beef up our efforts to recruit foster parents. The need is, we need foster parents for all age groups, from babies to teenagers. We really need for teenagers. We don't have a lot of teenagers coming into foster care, but when we do, we're often faced with a limited number of individuals who are willing to foster our teens.
Why do you think that is? I mean, because teenagers, that's a very critical time in, growth and development, and they really need guidance.
It is. They need a lot of guidance. They need a lot of patience because teenagers are naturally challenged. And then when you couple that with teenagers who are in foster care, they're dealing with trauma, past trauma that is accompanied with being in foster care, being separated from their birth parents, perhaps even their siblings, other family members, their community. So that's a lot that they have to cope with. And so some of our foster parents don't have the skills, the knowledge, and the ability to foster our teens. So that's why we're faced with such a shortage of individuals who are willing to foster our teenagers because of their needs.
Yeah. Well, I hope that we can help get the word out, through this event and, let everyone know about this need that's there and how they can help. And I understand, it is National Adoption Awareness Month. So for that and even beyond, how would you like to see people, be able to help and either adopt or foster a child? What do they need to do? How do they?
Well, if they are interested in becoming foster parents, they can contact any local agency and share with them that they want to be a licensed foster parent. The process varies from state to state, but every state does have a training program that foster parents have to complete. In the state of North Carolina, if you're a government agency, then you have the MAP curriculum that the foster parents have to complete. Before we get to that state though, we have a process in place. The foster parents have to attend an information session. And that information session can last from about an hour to an hour and a half. We have that in place because it gives them an opportunity to find out what they have to do in order to be considered foster parents. There's an application that they have to complete, which includes a financial statement. In addition to that, there's a consent for a criminal record check they have to complete. That's required. And we will review the application. It has to be complete when we review it. And if we're satisfied, we don't have any questions with the financial statement that they completed, we don't have any concerns regarding the criminal record check results, then we will extend an invitation to them. Extend an invitation to them to come and participate in the MAP class. The classes right now with Guildford County DHHS, they are held virtually on the Microsoft Teams platform. And those classes are held for 10 consecutive weeks for 3 hours for each class session.
Okay. And do most of the people that go through this program, I know there's a lot of steps to it. Once they the 10-week program, what is the process after that?
Okay, even before we complete the 10-week training with the applicants, we do our best to schedule an initial home visit with them.
Okay.
That's to keep them motivated, that's allow us to go into the home to see if there's anything that we need to bring to their attention before they continue to complete the training. And then after the training, we continue to interview the applicants. The state of North Carolina requires us to complete 2 home visits with a couple while in the home at the same time. And then we have to interview each spouse or partner individually 2 times. So that's a minimum of 6 interviews that we have to complete. It can include more interviews depending on the amount of information that we need to gather from the applicant. Sometimes it takes a bit longer to gather all the information that we need to gather from them. In addition to that, they have to have a medical evaluation, and this is something that's completed hopefully by a physician that is familiar with their medical history. And then they have to complete a medical history form where they're sharing with us what their medical history is. They're documenting any prescribed medications that they are taking and submit that to us. And as far as the home, there is an environmental checklist that each licensed and social worker completes for the applicant's home. And then we also ask them to have a fire inspection completed on their home and submit the fire inspection form to us. They also have to schedule an appointment to get their fingerprint scanned at the sheriff's department. And then we submit their fingerprint card to the state so that a fingerprint letter can be issued for them. So it is, I'm rattling off all this information. It is a lot that we do ask the applicants to do. It is an invasive process. It can be a long process, but the bottom line is the things that we have in place are there to ensure that we're recommending a home that is going to be safe, a home that's going to be nurturing a home that's going to be structured for any child who finds themselves in foster care have to be in a foster home. The information that we submit to the state is all they have. They're going on our judgment. All the information that we're providing for them on the application is all they have to make a decision for licensure. And our state licensing office will make that decision for foster home licensing.
Okay. No, that's great. I'm glad that it's a very involved process. I mean, that's
Yeah, absolutely.
Make sure the home is safe and the people that you're placing the children with are going to care for them and help them and nurture them. So yeah, I'm
right. And not only that, Jill, there's also a shared parenting requirement. That is a requirement, shared parenting.
Okay.
Okay. And shared parenting is a broad concept. Okay. And it includes things that the foster parents are going to do to work in partnership with the birth parents. So of course, it doesn't have to be face-to-face. And right now, a lot of the visits are virtual. So working in partnership and shared parenting with the birth parents can include telephone conversations with them. It can include sharing photos with the birth parents via the assigned foster care social worker. It can include informing the birth parent of upcoming medical appointments for their child. So you're letting those birth parents know that you're there to take care of their child while they're in foster care, and you're encouraging and you're working with them towards the initial goal of reunification. That is the #1 goal when children first come into care. That's where 95% or even higher of our cases are looking at reuniting those children with their birth parents. And so in order to achieve that goal, the state does have the requirement of shared parenting.
That's interesting. I didn't realize that. So in most foster cases, 90% of foster cases, there is a collaboration, or there is a expected collaboration between the foster parents and the birth parents.
Yes, exactly. There's expected collaboration between the foster parents and the birth parents. Exactly. Absolutely. In order for this to work. Right. And if that's not the case, then that's because generally should be some court orders involved, or the foster care team is saying because of the concerns about the birth parent, the birth parent, the foster parents do not have to have any contact with the birth parents. But if that's the case, then the foster care team will let that foster parent know.
Okay. That's information.
Because we don't want folk to be, in any harm or be harassed or aggravated by birth parents.
Of course, yeah. And so I'm going to move along to, what you're doing, what you do annually that for the children and part of the Celebrate the Children program. Can you tell us a little bit about that? And
yes. This is a program that our agency has had in place for a number of years. We were dropped by a local station and we wondered, okay, so we want to continue to support the foster children around the Christmas holidays. What can we do? And so someone came up with the concept of Celebrate the Children. So Celebrate the Children is in place every year. The committee gets active around September to come up with the task and assigned tasks that need to be completed for Celebrate the Children. And that includes contacting various individuals and businesses in Guildford County to make contributions, whether they're financial or actually unwrapped gifts for our children in foster care. And this is for every child, 0 to 21, that is in foster care. Oftentimes for our older children, we do give them gift cards to enable them to do shopping for themselves, because as you well know, a lot of young people want to go shopping, they want to buy clothes, various other items that they really want for Christmas. So we give them the gift cards and allow them to have that freedom. As a part of our program, we do stress to our foster parents that our children know about Christmas. Even if Christmas is not a part of their faith, they still know that we help them celebrate Christmas. And so the expectation that we have of every foster parent is that they do help children celebrate Christmas in their home. And that includes picking up those unwrapped gifts, wrapping the gifts for the children, and then presenting those gifts to them on Christmas Day.
That is wonderful. And does it does the county usually, contribute, consistently? Do you have enough products or enough gifts, and does it usually work out?
We usually do. Amazingly, the people in the community come through every year. I will tell you that. Even last week, I received a call from someone in the community saying that we gave to celebrate the children last year and we want to contribute again this year. So I gave them the contact information for one of the committee members. And then even prior to that, I had a former co-worker who called and said that their group is interested in supporting Celebrate the Children again. I gave her the number of the contact member of the Celebrate the Children so that her organization can make their contributions to Celebrate the Children again this year. So we have tremendous support for this effort every year. It is awesome.
And I know during the pandemic, it was a little difficult. So things are finally picking back up again. And I'm so glad that we're able to, do our part, even if it's a small part, to be able to help out. If you'd like to tell people where to maybe find out a little bit more information about Celebrate the Children, or, because every ticket that we sell that is sold here, proceeds are going towards Celebrate the Children. So everybody knows that. And if they'd like to continue to donate after this event and keep the Giving Tuesday vibes going, who can they reach out to?
Okay, I am going to look up the number right now of the individual, and I will tell you what that number is. Hold on. I happen to be on the correct page, which is good. Okay, all right, so I have located the number. Okay, so the person I have been referring folk to is Rhonda Teal, R-O-N-D-A, and her last name is Teal, T-E-A-L. She is my program manager, and she has been on this committee for many years. Her telephone number is 336-641-6701. And if you want to send an email to Rhonda, it's fine. It's rteal@Guildford County NC Guildford County NC.gov. I had to think about it for a minute. And yeah, I think that's the best way to start that conversation with her regarding anyone's interest in making a contribution to Celebrate the Children. I know that she would be absolutely thrilled to receive additional support for Celebrate the Children. It is a wonderful program. I will tell you, when I initially started working as a social worker, I had an opportunity to help bag the gifts for the kids. I did that for several years. It is a lot of fun. It is very fulfilling to know that you are making a small contribution towards a child having a big smile on their face on Christmas Day.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for sharing that with us. And going to make sure that everyone knows where they can reach Rhonda, and this will be live streaming. So, and anyone can reach out to me too as well if you're interested in contacting Mozetta for more information. And we want to make sure that we are able to help supply more wellness tools this year. I know earlier this year we were able to supply 47 yoga mats, and that's going towards this year's Celebrate the Children gift for the holidays. So We hope that you all can help us out with that and donate. Don't hesitate. Right. Thank you so much, Mozetta. It was great talking to you, and we're going to do our best to get the word out to everyone out for National Adoption Awareness Month.
Thank you so much. Thanks everyone for your support.
And that was a really important education on foster care and the Celebrate the Children program. And just so y'all know, that our first Puff and Polish, which Michelle was a part of, as well as Jackie, that we were able, from proceeds of the sale, we were able to purchase 48 yoga mats for foster care recipients.
And that was our first event. And that was a little less than half of our goal. We're really trying to reach 100. So we encourage you all to help us out. The donation link will be up until
the end of the year.
End of the year.
Yep.
So,
and the theme of the first one was to really provide sustainable self-care, and hopefully with a yoga mat, and folks have their own church in a sense, their own safe space on the mat. And perhaps we'll have our next wellness entrepreneur that will be sitting up here or creating like an unbelievable product line or an herbalism line or producing the Stone Age. Like, you just never know how this is going to make an impact on young people's lives. And like, we need that sort of freshness. We need that sort of self-care, and we need that sort of healing. So it's a very comprehensive process and role, but it was really important for us to give back and to set these foster care recipients up for success.
And I'm really glad that you and I were able to meet, and you saw the vision when I came to you with this idea, and we were able to really produce something fun and interactive and get people really excited about donating to help others, especially children. Because during the pandemic, there was a lot of things going on that you probably don't even want to know about, but kids really need help right now. So we encourage you all to donate. You can donate more than once if you like.
So I'm gonna go through like our closing remarks, like we just won a Grammy or something. But I want to make sure we don't forget a link. Jill's already mentioned the Eventbrite link is still live. You can find out more about Puff and Polish at jointvco/PuffXPolish. I guess that's jointvco.com/PuffXPolish. So you can check it out there.
We want to first and foremost thank the ladies of the Stone Age for working with us and having us here in your incredible space. We also want to thank all of our guests that we were working with tonight: LaToya, Wiggins, Amy Chin,
Michelle here, Sasha and Liz, who came and spoke up as well, and Jackie Carrington as well. And the Mozetta's message was really profound. Also, thank you to our production crew. For those virtually, Dan of Pro Cannabis Media, thank you very much. And to Brandon here, our photographer, thank you, and videographer, thank you very much. And to my lover and husband, Clinton, love you. Thank you for helping. Really appreciate. Couldn't do this without you. Miss Demetria, yes.
Helping us.
From Jill introducing Dimitri and I to then curating a unbelievable panel series with Student Marijuana Alliance for Research and Transparency called Women in Weed series. So holla at your girl. Thank you very much. Chef Nick as well of Kitchen. Thank you very much for the coquito and the energy balls. Everyone who contributed to the gift bags. Thank you very much.
Toasty, Soulful Grows, the other company, Calm Better Days, Amy Chin. Who else do we want to thank?
And we got some additional stuff that Sasha and Liz provided.
Yes, that was the Toasty products, yes. That's also a BIPOC-owned brand.
And also in your gift bags is Different Leaf Magazine, which is a cannabis culture mag born out of Mass. And I'm a big fan of what they got going on there. So everyone is also going home with one of those. And thank you all for joining virtually and in person. We know you could be anywhere else at this time, but we feel very fortunate that you chose to be with us live and then also taking the time to watch us on the replay. So again, I'm Ann Brum of Joint Venture & Co.
We forgot the very important person to thank. We need to thank Pro Cannabis Media for helping us with this live stream and really coming through with it. So I just want to special shout out to them. And yeah, that's it. And everybody else, see Demetria for your gift bag on the way up.
That's right. All right. And I was going to say, and I'm Ann Brum at Joy Venture & Co.
And I'm Jill Goldsberry with Golden Media Relations.
And you have just tuned in with Puff and Polish, the second installment. So in Portuguese, we say obrigada. In Espanol, we say a little gracias.
Gracias.
And thank you everyone so much for being with us. Until the next time.
We're out.
Adios.
Yeah.